Hello and welcome back to my video on the Wrestles Debate and to AEW Revolution 2022 predictions. And yeah, I can't wait for this pay-per-view. This is a really stacked pay-per-view. Lots of huge matches on there. Paige Cole, Baker Thunder Rosa, and of course Punk MJF, the main event going into this match. The build up for that's just been so great. So let's get into it with some other matches, starting off with the Hardy Family Office against Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin and Sting. Yeah, this match kind of been thrown together already. Would like to see Guevara in his own TNT title match, but yeah, I kind of see why this is on the card. Obviously gets Sting on there, major star, and will mean a solid win for the baby faces, and I think it will lead to Matt Hardy and all of that lot breaking up, with the Hardy Boys coming in soon potentially. So yeah, I think that baby faces win. I think it will be disbanding, or maybe Andrade could go on and lead the faction, which I'd also like to see. Moving on then to the TBS title match where Jade Cargill takes on Tay Conti, and yeah, this is an interesting one. Tay Conti, I mean, like, for me, she doesn't seem quite at a level yet where she could defeat Jade Cargill with the run that she's on. So yeah, I can't see Tay Conti getting a win here, but you know, I still think it'll be an absolute banger of a match. And I think Jade Cargill is favourite, but you know, it's not beyond the realms of possibility for a surprise upset. But for me, I think Jade Cargill will likely retain her title here. Two matches on the buy-in. First, legit Layla Hirsch takes on Chris Statlander, and yeah, this is an interesting one. I feel like both women could do a win here, and yeah, it's a match where I could see either getting a win. But yeah, personally, I prefer legit Layla Hirsch. I like both of them, but I'm a massive fan of legit Layla Hirsch, so I'm going to go for the win. It's very 50-50. If I had to lean towards one side, I'll say Chris Statlander, but just for personal preference in this one, I think I'm going to go for Layla Hirsch, and hopefully it can lead to more good stuff for these two women, and maybe a chance to shot at the TBS title soon. But yeah, I'll go Layla. Moving on then to Hook versus QT Marshall. And yeah, obviously there's been a Rampage storyline that's building for a few weeks. And for me, there's only one winner here. I think Hook will pick up the victory. Yeah, he's just looked so good recently on Rampage, and QT Marshall, he's kind of in that role where he can put over the younger talent, and that's exactly what Hook is. Good for Hook to get an opportunity on a pay-per-view, even though it is the buy-in, but you know, definitely elevates him a bit more from Rampage, so yeah, support that as well. So yeah, I'm going to say Hook for the W here, and probably the easiest one to predict. Moving on then to the tag team title match, and it is Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus against Young Bucks and Redragon. And yeah, personally, I think Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus will get the win here. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's more to do with the story between Redragon and Young Bucks. Obviously, they got along on Dynamite, but I doubt that'll last. And I kind of think they'll be working together, have Jurassic Express on the ropes. But yeah, there comes a bit of a kerfuffle. And yeah, maybe Jungle Boy picks up a lucky roll-up to retain his tag team titles alongside Luchasaurus or something like that. But yeah, I think it's more to do with the overall picture of the Elite rather than the tag team titles. And plus, I didn't want to see Jurassic Express drop the belt so early. So yeah, I'm going to go for them to get the win. Moving on then to the face of the Revolution ladder match, and it is Orange Cassidy versus Wardlow versus Keith Lee versus Christian Cage versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ricky Starks, with the winner of course getting TNT title shot. I've seen lots of people say that Keith Lee will get the win here, and to be honest, I don't really agree with that. I think Wardlow will pick up the win here. I think all of the stuff with the Pinnacle recently has been leading up to this moment. Wardlow gets a shot at the TNT title, and we'll see what happens. I could be wrong, it definitely feels like a wide open match, but for me at the moment, I feel like Wardlow is probably most likely. But yeah, like I said, it's definitely a wide open match. Next up, Eddie Kingston takes on Chris Jericho, and this is another interesting one. Two superstars who I really don't think will want to lose either one of them. And yeah, I just kind of feel like Jericho at the moment, he's kind of on a downward spiral in the mid-card, so maybe he'll need a win to lift him up to the back of the card. But then again, Jericho's reputation isn't really damaged by loss. And Eddie Kingston, been away for a while, kind of needs that big pay-per-view win. And yeah, over a massive star like Jericho, this kind of seems the perfect opportunity to do something like that. And for that reason, I'm going to go for a Kingston win here. Moving on then to another match that I really can't wait for, John Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. And the build-up to this has been great ever since Moxley returns, and yeah, it should be an interesting one. As for the winner, yeah, Danielson obviously losing that program to Page, so I don't think he wants to lose another one here, but Moxley, you know, just coming back, massive babyface, rejected Bryan, and Bryan's been a heel all the way through. It just makes sense for Moxley to win this one in my opinion, and yeah, I think in a banger of match, it probably will go beyond this. I think Moxley will pick up the victory. Moving on then to CM Punk versus MJF, this time in a dog collar match, and yeah, for me, it just all the stars align for a CM Punk victory here. Obviously a massive babyface going into this. MJF got the first one, And yeah, I just can't see Punk losing twice in a row to MJF. So yeah, I think CM Punk will probably get the win here, and it could lead to a deciding match where the result could be different. But for me, in the second match, to stop him from losing two in a row, I definitely think CM Punk will pick up the W here. Moving on into the AEW Women's World Title match, and that is Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. And yeah, this is an interesting one because Britt Baker is undoubtedly the queen of the women's division at the moment, the absolute star of it. And yeah, Thunder Rosa, she's been building up slowly to this moment, and yeah, it kind of feels like with all the history that these two have, it's the perfect opportunity for AEW to kind of shake up the women's division a bit and give Thunder Rosa the belt, and I think that's exactly what they'll do here. So I'm going to predict a new women's champion and say Thunder Rosa for the W. Moving on then to Hangman Page versus Adam Cole, and yeah, for me this is a Hangman win all day long. Don't get me wrong, Cole it's been built up well and is a great wrestler and all of that. But yeah, for me, Hangman, his first pay-per-view events, I think I want to keep the belt on him a bit longer before maybe MJF at the next pay-per-view, who knows, we'll see. But yeah, definitely for now, I think Hangman keeps the belt. But you know, this will be an absolute banger of a match, and I don't think it will do too much harm to Adam Cole either. But for me, I think Hangman will pick up the win. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, thoughts, comments down below. Follow us in the link description for daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel on screen. I'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.